Hi everybody, this is Michelle from Virtual Hand Care, your online hand expert. In this video, I want to show you 3 ways to use these buddy loops to help increase your finger range of motion. So if you've had a finger injury, surgery, a dislocation, sprain, strain, broken bone, you might notice that it's kind of hard to get the motion back in your finger joints. They can be stubborn. And so sometimes you can do all the exercises in the world and it just doesn't respond. So I really like using buddy loops to try to help speed the process along. So there's a few ways that you can use these buddy loops to help with that. So let's get started. I'll put a link where you can find these buddy loops in the comments below. Now I do have a few other videos where I use these buddy loops too, and I will link those here. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that subscribe button below. Now I really like using these buddy loops because for one thing they have Velcro, so they're really easy to take off and on. There's no kind of complicated straps or anything that you have to worry about. Also, I like that there's kind of this anti-slip material on the inside. So again, it's not slipping around and you're having to fumble with it. So it stays on your finger nicely. And also on the outside, it kind of has this softer material too. So it's not rubbing on your finger or your other fingers, causing any kind of skin irritation. Okay, so tip number 1 to increase mobility in your finger is to buddy your injured finger next to a finger that's working better. So say my middle finger is very stiff. So walking around with a very stiff middle finger, but my index finger is moving a little better. My ring finger is also moving a little bit better. Really, it's up to you to choose which finger that you want to buddy your middle finger to. So you could buddy it to the index, or you could buddy it to the ring finger. If it's your ring finger that is injured, you could buddy it to your middle finger. Same thing, if it's your small finger, you could buddy it to the ring finger. Now, I usually do recommend you to use at least 2 buddy straps. It does depend on the length of your fingers too. If you have very long fingers, I definitely recommend 2 straps. If you have kind of shorter fingers, sometimes too many straps can actually kind of limit your motion a little bit. So say my middle finger is stiff and I'm gonna buddy it to my index finger. So actually what you're gonna do is you're gonna put the loop through the index finger, and we're gonna actually put 2. So you're gonna start down low and then you're actually going to loop around and buddy the middle finger down low to the index finger. Then you're gonna put another one on the index finger, same thing, and you're going to buddy the middle finger to the index finger there. Now you do want to make sure that, again, you're not blocking. So my index finger is now doing quite a bit of the work. So what the point of doing this is that you are encouraging movement by kind of relying on the better moving finger. What I commonly see is that people just start picking up items with just their index, and then the middle finger or the injured fingers are just staying straight. It can often encourage more function and use, which then turns into more mobility. Okay, so tip number 2, we're going to use 2 buddy straps again, and we're actually gonna stick them together like this. So now you have a little bit of a longer buddy strap. So what we're gonna do, again, say my middle finger is a little bit stiff, I cannot bend it down. So I'm actually gonna take the loop and I'm actually gonna put my middle finger and another finger in there. Depending on, since the loop's pretty big, you may even be able to fit 3 fingers in there. It depends on the size of your hand. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put my index and my middle in the loop. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna curl as much as you can. So if you only can curl this far and that finger's just kind of sticking out, what you wanna do is you wanna use the buddy strap to help come around the hand. So you're gonna come around like this, and you're gonna keep pulling, and what you're trying to do is you're trying to pull back into some flexion. And as you come around, I'm coming around on the thumb, and then you're gonna come around and you're gonna use that piece of Velcro to kind of give a little push onto that middle finger, and you're trying to push that down. So we're trying to get a line of pull pushing this way. And this is actually a good way to help get all three joints to bend down at the same time. Now, ideally, if you're going to do something like this, you would actually want to hold this for quite a while. You would want to hold it for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes even, so that you can get a longer type of stretch in that tissue. Now remember, if you do hold this for 5 or 10 or 15 minutes, your joint's going to be kind of sore a little bit. So do make sure that you keep that pain level low as you're stretching. So you don't want to torque too hard when you're stretching. You want to be able to last for 5 minutes or for 10 minutes. So you might need to not stretch as hard at first and slowly stretch a little bit over time at a more comfortable level. So I usually recommend to stick around like a 2 or a 3 out of pain, which means it's uncomfortable. You wouldn't want to stay there all day, but you also don't want to be cranking it down so hard that you don't even want to stay there for like a minute. It's not the no pain, no gain. What you're going to end up doing is you're going to push that finger too hard, too quickly, and you're going to cause it to swell, which when a finger swells, it loses its motion. So really, it's defeating the purpose. And then when you go to take this off, do make sure you just go nice and lightly, because your finger is not going to want to go all the way straight. So just let it slowly kind of work its way up into extension. Okay, so then number 3, the last way to use these buddy loops to help increase your finger range of motion is to just use one of them. And this one requires you to have a little bit more mobility in the finger. So that's why I wanted to show you 1 and 2 first, because this one you're gonna need a little bit more motion. We're gonna focus on just stretching the PIP joint and the DIP joint. And like I said, I do have another video that I can link here where I show you how to do this as well. So what you do is you're going to put the loop on the tip of the middle finger. So again, you would do this to whichever finger is injured, you would do this exact technique to. For this case, it's my middle finger. I'm going to put the loop on my middle finger, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly flex down as hard as I can go with as much motion as I can. And then I'm going to pull back with this loop and wrap around my finger. And then again, I'm going to use that last little bit of Velcro to really try to cinch that down. And you might need to pull that down just a little bit, but the inside anti-slip really helps keep this on. As you can see, I'm in quite a bit of flexion. You might not have that much flexion, but this is really good to do to try to get that last little end range of motion. And then again, you would want to stay here for maybe 5 to 10 minutes, just letting the strap help stretch your finger out. Again, keeping that pain level low, a little bit of discomfort, but not too aggressive. And then you just slowly pull that off whenever you're ready. And just kind of wiggle those fingers out. Comment below and let me know if you're finding these tips helpful. Let me know which one that you're at right now, 1, 2, or 3. Don't forget to like this video and don't forget to hit that subscribe button below. Thanks for watching.